Mary Omni from the House of King David. It's November the 12th, 2014, and this is a Republic notice that asks a question. And the question is, should blacks in blue uniforms be given a pass? Should blacks in blue uniforms be given a pass? Now, I'm talking about black police who help in corporate doctrines oppress the Constitution. Should they be given a pass because this is their job and they need to earn a living when they stand on the side of corporate doctrines and oppress the constitutional republic, black citizens of this nation, which is the God sovereignty of this nation? Should they be an exception to when we decide to hold these people accountable, as in a Nuremberg trial? Should blacks be given a pass because they put on a blue uniform? Do they then get a right to cancel constitutionality or breach the 14th Amendment and 15th Amendment and the constitutional 1 through 15th Amendments of black supreme citizens? Do they get a pass because they're in black skin and they need to earn a living and we should have compassion for them? Should they be given a pass to trample God's holy covenant within corporate doctrines? See, these are things we have to think about, because a lot of us will have, qualms about seeing these black people as actual criminals. A lot of us will have qualms about seeing these black people as actual evil. I mean, because even earning a living, how much, Aretha Franklin has in a song about a man paying too much for what he's got. A man's paying too much for what he's got. So in actual uniforms, they may have houses and homes and everything, but if they're treading God's holy covenant and they have a consciousness and knowing that black constitutional citizens are being oppressed, and they put on this blue uniform, and then amnesia sets in. And I see this in a lot of black men and black women. Amnesia comes very easily to them once they feel as though they in the corporate doctrine camp. Amnesia comes to them very easly. And so what we need to understand is that this internal disloyalty for them receiving crumbs or cracker dust of their own wealth, is this internal disloyalty worth dismissing because they receive cracker dust of their own hijacked wealth? They're given cracker dust of their own hijacked wealth. So should we dismiss their disloyalty to God's holy covenant because they put on a blue uniform? Now, I'm talking about police, black police like the one in Missouri. He was easy to call those who threw Molotov cocktails in defense of their very inalienable human rights, that God gave a natural instinct to defense. And so he was quick to call them criminals. He was quick to call them criminals while being black in a blue uniform. He was quick to call those who protested, outsiders and stuff, which is division, of course. Division, because even if they outsiders, if they black like you, then they insiders in constitutional authority of the republic. And that's what black people better remember. Your first thought should be, are they constitutional in a constitutional republic authority? Because you and that land is one all over. No matter if they came from another state, they're national citizens and they have a right to protest and come anywhere they the F want to uphold inalienable rights. Okay? So, this is the division that comes about when you don't understand that the Constitution always comes first. When you understand that, then you won't see division in blacks that come from another state. They have the right to stand up for their constitutionality against domestic and foreign enemies within any state and territory and jurisdiction, okay? And they had that right since 1866. Now, do the cops in blue uniforms, and this not only goes for cops in blue uniforms, but I want you to think about that in blacks working in this federal and corporate doctrine hijack system of how they are ready to trample constitutional citizens a lot for their hijack crumb return, hijack cracker dust return. Not saying that they shouldn't earn a living, but it seems like some of these blacks really go out of their way to show that they're against their own constitutionality. And these are the ones who's going to have to come forth and point out the wrongdoing, as they're going to be held to high accountability, and they're going to be treated just as the wrongdoers. But that's how the kingdom looks at it constitutionally, and constitutionally cannot be, is not really flexible. It's a very narrow gate. It's the narrow gate to the kingdom. This is Mary Omni from the House of King David. So these are things to ponder. Shalom.